No, you're good right here. Just stand right there. All right, we good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so today I want to teach y'all a move that I love right now. It's a great one to have in your toolbox. It's super situational, called Makikomi. But first, I want to go over a quick thing, something that happens a lot when I teach people judo techniques, and when I tell people to go look at them get hit in competition or something to see kind of how the entrance normally happens, how the setup normally happens. So a lot of people get caught up on the fact that in judo, the person making the throw goes down with their opponent a lot of times, right? And I wanted to take a second just to kind of give you an idea of why that is the case and why you don't really need to worry about it too much, all right? So, just going over that real quick, in judo, in order for me to score a point, I need to put my opponent on his back, not just on the ground, okay? And what that means is there becomes a meta of, it doesn't matter if I actually hit my trip on this person, if he can get to his stomach when he falls. So, let's look at a sotogari. Most of us know a sotogari, right? Easily done while remaining standing. The issue is, if my opponent has done a lot of judo and is very good at the meta, he may do this, right? I come in, I hit this trip, and he turns over to his side, all right? That would be a win in our sport, but that's nothing in judo. Maybe I get a half point if I get him on his side, but if he's not on his back, he loses, he doesn't lose, okay? That's why in judo, a lot of times, if I hit that same move, I am going to follow him to the ground because I want to make sure I drive his shoulders to the mat so I get the win, right? Same move, boom, but now, now I drive his shoulders straight all the way to the ground, okay? So, that's a little tip on why that happens. Now let's look at Makikomi that I'm going to go today. The reason I picked this one while doing this tip, this is a move that is almost entirely thrown falling down. It is rare that you will ever see this in any sort of competition without the person throwing going to the ground, okay? So what is Makikomi? Makikomi, it means wrapping throw, basically, okay? If this was just straight judo, I would normally come from a sleeve grip. I'm gonna step in, I'm gonna pull his hand, boom, around me. I'm gonna grab onto his shoulder here, and then I'm gonna essentially just fall down while twisting. So once I'm here, my hip's gonna go down, and I'm gonna throw him through, okay? So, kind of from an outside standpoint, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to use this move in our sport, right? Pro fight aside, right? It's actually extremely effective in one specific situation that a lot of times we find ourselves in. So let's go ahead and get our gear right here. All right. So a situation that I often find myself in, let's switch sides just because it's a little easier. Is being on the rail and having someone behind me, right? How often am I fighting this person, someone comes up from behind me to try to head rip me or something, boom, I defend, and then this guy leaves, and now I'm sitting here on a rail with this guy grabbed on my back, right? The Makikomi is an amazing move to have in your arsenal for this specific situation. A lot of times these people will hold pretty tight because they don't want you to be able to go anywhere, right? What I like to do is take my arm and I'm going to hook it behind the shield, behind the elbow cop. All of those are good. I can actually make this work from the gauntlet, but it's a little bit more difficult. So once I get to here, I'm in good shape, all right? And now, I'm going to do this same Makikomi falling roll. The difference is I'm going to put all of my weight on the rail here. If this is H&B, it's even easier because I can deep hook. If it's INCF, I will stay on top of the rail, and if I feel like I'm starting to fall, maybe I'll clamp for a second, right? But once I have this, I've hooked behind. I'm going to take this foot, step it behind so that I block his foot from following, and then we'll go ahead and do H&B style. I hook, forward. Alright, let's go to the other side real quick so we can do it. You go. I'll do it to you. Both sides. Alright, so again, I want to get this arm under me. Sometimes I'm going to end up fighting, so maybe he's up here. I'm going to try to fight this off, and people, once they see this, will often automatically wrap under. Alright, once I have this, again, reach back as deep as I can, and I want to clamp down hard on this. This should not be able to go anywhere. Once that happens, I'm going to go lean far forward, block this foot, and then I turn until he falls. Alright?
Alright guys, now I want to show you it happening in competition. I'm the guy with the axe that the arrow is pointing at. You see someone presses forward on me, and I'm going to be dragged kind of out of screen. As you see back, the guy is now behind me. I switch my axe to my rail side hand to get it out of the way. Now I look to control that inside arm and get it hooked. Now that it's hooked, I dive forward and block that outside leg. Hope this helps.